Every gem is made with a purpose. It is something we've heard in the show time and time again, but oftentimes it feels like we are only being presented with part of the story. For thousands of years, the Gem Empire has been colonizing planet after planet, creating more and more gems for what seemed to be expansion for expansion's sake. Finally, they came to Earth, where Pink has been given her first colony. What are the first gems they had to create? Soldiers. Amethyst, quartz, soldiers. So far, the Gem Empire has conquered countless planets without the need for foot soldiers. So why now? They had some tiny rubies, who mostly seem to be distractions if their leaders attack, were used for scouting missions. And there are topaz, but despite being a quartz, they are never talked about as quartz soldiers, and seem to be used primarily for capturing missions. And with no other war going on that we know of, why would they need soldiers at all, let alone a fresh batch of them from the first ever kindergarten on Earth? Who are the Gem Empire's enemy, and why are they fighting them? Pink hadn't even started her rebellion yet, so who could these Amethysts possibly be fighting? Why, after so many colonies, are soldiers important now? Even after the rebellion, the mystery deepens. If there was some galactic war going on between the Gem Empire and some other alien race, why weren't the Amethysts sent there to fight them? We now know that there is a resource shortage on Homeworld, but if there was also a war, why wouldn't they be sending their programmed soldiers to the front of the line instead of giving them essentially pointless jobs at the human zoo? And what about the zoo itself? We were told it was created to help preserve life from Earth, but we only ever see humans there. And what about our Amethyst? She seems so guilty about being born on Earth, knowing the destruction gem production causes to a planet. But Garnet, Pearl, and Ruby, and Sapphire, no one else shows this kind of regret simply for being made. Life has to die for any gem to be born, whether on Earth or any other planet. What made everyone feel guilty about that on Earth, but not the countless other planets the gems have conquered? Why was the first step in conquering Earth just a single kindergarten filled with soldiers? Why not dozens of kindergartens all over the Earth with diverse gems? Who was the enemy that Homeworld so desperately needed to go to war with? What if the true enemy all along was us? I'm Deep Cut, your YouTube. This is Cartoon Universe, and welcome to our latest theory video. Were Amethyst soldiers created specifically to kill the human race? It may seem like a stretch, but I think you have to consider that the word choice they use is very particular. They are not exterminators, they are not hunters, they are soldiers, and soldiers are meant to fight in wars. Any wildlife can be pushed out of its natural habitat simply by invading and setting up your own colony. Humans have been doing this to other animals for thousands of years, but anytime humans have tried to invade any other human-occupied area, they always fought back. Wars were started, and when the Diamonds found the Earth to be ripe with life, they also saw a problem. A species that could fight back, something that could hinder their progress, no matter how futile that fight might be. Thanks to the episode Jungle Moon, we now know that there are other planets out there that have life that grow beyond just single-celled organisms. Some planets, if not most of the planets that the Diamonds invade, have multi-celled organisms and complex life forms, some of which become rather large. But we have yet to see any evidence of another species that is as intelligent as the humans or the gems. Amethyst had to be the first gems made because the Gem Empire needed an army specifically for fighting and wiping out the human race. If they had started with anything else, the humans could have fought back and slowed down production at the very least. This is what made the Earth feel so special to so many gems like Pink Diamond. It also explains why they didn't feel guilty about the other planets that they've invaded. Why weren't those planets special? Garnet, Pearl, Ruby, Sapphire, none of them seemed to care until they found the Earth. This would be because whatever planet they were born on didn't have the kind of life that Earth did. They did not have humans, people capable of talking and communicating with them. This also explains why the human zoo itself was made. There was no reason to preserve all these other life forms. They were a dime a dozen. Even when we look at Jungle Moon, we can see that there are various species that aren't exactly like life on Earth, but not that different either. It's the idea that humans could communicate, that they were intelligent, that they actually could fight back, that made them so special. It also explains why the Amethysts were sent to the human zoo after the rebellion. If they were created for some other war that was already going on, they would be out there fighting them right now. But without the humans, there was no other enemy. There was nothing else to fight. And as such, they were given essentially worthless jobs at the human zoo. It also explains why they take so much joy in making the humans suffer, talking about how they are going to kill them by throwing them out into space, for instance. It's their natural instincts. It explains why our Amethyst feels so guilty about the entire situation. Not because she was sucking life out of the Earth like every other gem that was ever created had to do, but because she was designed specifically to kill all the humans on Earth. And this is their home now. It's no wonder she'd feel guilty about it. Some people are not convinced the humans were developed enough to fight at the time. However, I ask that you reference this mural. You can see on the left side that there is a gem coming to invade, and humans are already reaching up as if they're trying to fight back. And then next to it, you see rose quartz facing off against some very important gem. Behind the gem, you see smaller little gems, probably representing the armies of Homeworld. And then you have what looks like humans behind rose quartz, fighting alongside her. Pearl also mentions that in the first battles against Homeworld at the Sky Arena, she learned about the human concept of being a knight. That would mean that the human concept of being a knight already had to exist for her to learn about it. This meant that there were knights, people who could fight, people who had weapons, and people who had armor on Earth, already ready to fight back if aliens came in and tried to take over their planet. When Bismuth first meets Steven, she assumes that he, a tiny human, is a new recruit for the cause, as if humans have been fighting alongside the crystal gems since the rebellion started going. Most important of all, this explains Pink Diamond's turning point. She loved the life on Earth and was very happy about it, but it wasn't until she saw the humans that she realized what she was doing. These creatures were perhaps the first ones that were intelligent enough for her to really sympathize or empathize with. That's all the information I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little crazy, a little out there, might be a bit of a stretch, but it was fun to think about for a day. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and if you got any evidence that supports or is against this, let me know. I'd like to hear both sides.